These were movies that even if you weren't working that day or that week, or the stars even, would come and stand around to watch the other people doing these spectacular things. So it was very, very thrilling and exciting. And I've never known of a movie where people come when they're not working and stand around and watch. They did.
People either enjoyed working on an Irwin Allen picture or they didn't, and that, I think, goes for every other picture. But all of us who have ever worked for Irwin Allen and did, you know, stuff for Irwin, always rooted for Irwin.
The first thing that Irwin Allen said to me was, "Have you read the book?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I haven't." He said, "Great, great, don't read it, because everybody hated your character and we don't want them to feel that way about you in the movie."
He was just at his best. He was really the captain of the ship, of the Poseidon.
He was a real old-fashioned showman, which doesn't exist anymore. He really knew how to make movies. He knew how to get people who knew how to make movies.
Gene was nominated for the Academy Award, and then he won it for French Connection. So we had a great big cake for him, and everybody was just like in awe of him. You know, congratulations. We were all very happy.
My character had a crush on him in the movie, and he was very fatherly towards me. Everybody was kind of like my surrogate parent in a way. Shelley Winters was a force on the set. She was very outspoken, and you know, you could kind of always hear her presence.
When I read the screenplay, I said to my agent, "The fat lady gets a nomination, you know." I didn't know it was going to be Shelley.
I died pretty soon. I fell down the flue rather early. Which I must say was one of the scariest days I ever saw, because I watched the fellow who did that stunt and was a direct fall, like 40 feet or something. The camera, he went down. And if that guy had missed, you know, wow, he would have been lacerated. It was a wonderful stunt, but I didn't do it. Thank heavens.
It was arduous, even for an 18-year-old. I can't imagine what it was like for the older members. We did swimming and climbing and running through fire, and it was pretty real. It wasn't special effects.
Paul, our stunt guy, trained all of us. You know, so we knew what we had to do, and we were trained to do it. Shelley worked for 2 months with a scuba diver at the bottom of her pool to get her breathing up. We were all taught the breathing stuff. The hardest for me was height. I am terrified of height. I mean, I can't go up a stepladder 2 feet off the ground.
I'm sorry. I can't move. We climbed a lot on rafters with fire around, but, you know, it was all pretty set up for us not to get hurt.
It was all like clockwork, and I was talking to Red a couple of months ago, and I was saying, you know, like, nobody got hurt, nobody slipped, nobody even had a cold. And we went through hell and back making a movie.
For most of the film, we were wet and dirty and climbing around, and so that was the first part of the physicalness of it, because we were really uncomfortable.
The set was upside down for the most of it. When you've got that much steam and smoke on a set, it's tiring.
I remember sleeping on mattresses. It was strange. We had all kinds of stunts with fire and water and all this stuff, and I can remember sleeping in a corner somewhere on one of the stunt mattresses.
It was difficult also because it was primarily an action film, which Neame, I thought, handled masterfully.
Ronald Neame was a very kind man, gentle. I just remember a quiet force behind the camera and everybody else running around screaming and carrying on.
Ronnie is a gentleman, an English gentleman, and he just handled us all beautifully, absolutely beautifully.
This has come to be probably the most beloved picture that I've done.
Poseidon was like this gigantic success, and you know, we're still talking about it, which is amazing.
I think Poseidon Adventure holds a special place in history.
I would say of everything that Irwin did in his life, I think he'll best be remembered for the Poseidon Adventure. I think it was, for that genre, picture. I think it was the best. It was just a fabulous, fabulous picture.